Come on in, welcome to my home. I made candles. It was a lot of fun. This whole video is about how absolutely simple the candle making process was, and part of the reason for that is I had the equipment for it. Now, all this equipment I did get from Amazon Vine, where I do product testing, so the links are down in the description. But yeah, I did do all of this through those testings, but it was fun. I mean, it was a lot of fun. Like, I had a blast doing this. And I think this is something that older kids could do. You might do it yourself. Now, let me explain a little bit of my philosophy on things. Because some of you are like, well, you didn't make scented candles. And I'll tell you, I don't like scented candles. Here's why. With a scented candle, you have a scent no matter what you do. So if you want to have, like, you have 5 candles that you love and you're going to light them all, yet they are like weird scents, I don't want to have 30 different candles because I can only have this group of candles lit at this time and this group of candles lit at that time. No, if I want the scent, I'll do some sort of air spray or something, diffuser, that sort of thing for the scent. The other thing, which is I think really fun about this, is the fact that I did not use paraffin. I used soy wax. I had never heard of it, and I know it has its own controversies with part of the problem with soy wax is that soy takes so much money, it takes so much pesticides that, there's a trade-off in this, but it's considered more sustainable. But that is not my goal in this video. My goal in this video is to tell you what you need, which I found for me, since I was using soy wax flakes, I needed the wax melter. The wax melter is just wonderful. It plugs in, you have 2 heat settings, you can have it on high and low. It melts the wax in a contained environment, which is, what's it called? Which is non-stick. And so then, it's non-stick. You don't have to worry about it. Then it also has a handle. So I could just pour it straight from the container into whatever I was going to put my candles in. Now, the first candle that I made was put into a glass vase that I had on hand. And to make that candle, I got a wax candle making kit, or a candle making kit. And it had the candle wicks, it had the stickers to stick the wick down to the glass, and also had this great device which helps you center it. Really cool and everything. But I'll tell you about that when we get it, how to make that. But that's one of the things that I had. I had all the equipment. And then the other one was I made wood wick candles. But all of these things are super, super simple. So let's do voice over me and I can show you how I did this. This is really easy. So I'm going to walk you through my first attempt at making candles. Now what I'm doing right now is I am plugging in the wax melter. All of these things are listed down below in the description, and I'm sure there are links showing up. But the wax melter was its own separate item, and also this is a soy wax candle making kit, and all that wax came in the kit along with the wicks and the stickers and then the device which actually helps center everything. So the first thing that you do is you get your soy wax into your melter. Really simple. Then what we're going to do is we're going to take it's just a sticker. It's a double-sided sticker which will help put your candle wick into the center of your whatever vessel you're using. This time I'm just using something that I had around the house. I tried to place it in there as centered as I could. I think I did a fairly good job, but you don't have to worry about trying to get the wick itself centered because there are a couple devices. One of the devices is that popsicle stick kind of thing that you see. This other device is this metal centerer, which it will fit on most cups, saucers, that sort of thing, and it literally does just center everything up perfectly that way. So that way you don't have to worry about, is it all centered, is it not centered. The other thing, which I don't know if you really are paying attention to, off to the side, can you see that the wax has already started to melt? This is soy wax flakes, And I found that the flakes melt really, really fast. Of course, right now I'm cleaning up my area, trying to make sure that the area is all nice and clean. But the other thing about this is a ½ pound of soy wax. And I did find it did not make a ton, like a ton of candles. But let's speed this up now. Now, through the magic of editing, we will speed up the wax melting so that you don't have to sit there and watch wax melt, which is akin to watching water boil. But this did go really pretty fast. I mean, it only took a few minutes for the wax to totally be melted, and once it was, I was ready to pour it into the container. And that's where things went really, really quickly. Once everything is melted, the thing that I loved about this candle melter has a handle. It has this great handle, so I could just literally pour the wax into my glass cylinder. Like I said, I had the glass cylinder. We'll talk about what else you can use later, a little later on, well, a few seconds later on. Pour it in there, and then you're ready for magic to happen. All right, it's not magic, it's just cooling down. I unplugged it, and everything is ready to go. We are ready to let it do its thing and solidify. Now, I let mine solidify, I think, for about 4 hours, but I was also doing things. Now, the one thing I can tell you, I am using a candle cutter, which was okay, wasn't the greatest, but it did cut through the candle, so that way the wick was at a lower spot. Then I'm using an electric candle lighter, and it took a few tries until I had the candle lit. Once the candle was lit, I thought this was actually pretty cool. So here we have our candle. It's all lit and everything. Let's see how much light that candle does give off. Not bad. Not bad candlelight. So then I thought, let's do it again. So this time, same exact process. Soy wax flakes goes into the melter. And the thing which is different this time is the fact that I am now going to be using a wooden wick. The wooden wicks, I actually sort of like those a little bit better because I think they draw up the candle wax into them a little bit faster, and it just gives it a really, really nice glow. But of course, hey, you can't plug it in there. You plug it in there. So now, of course, we have to let our candle wax melt. Let's speed this up and do that. On second thought, let's do something else while we're waiting for the candle wax to melt. That is, get our containers ready to hold the candles. Now, these are part of a set. It comes in a 30-piece set where you have a larger container and a smaller container. And yes, those are the wooden wicks that I'm going to be using for the larger one. They're actually really cool. They have a great holder where you can just place the wick onto the holder. It just clips on, as you can see right there. The wick clips into place, if I can move my fingers around correctly. Once it is in place, then you can just place it down into your candle container. Like I said, these are jars which are specifically for that. And I decided I will do the smaller jar using the old regular candle wicks. So I just pulled out one of those, and I have to get everything all set up. And this is the big thing you want to always remember. Get all of your stuff all ready to go before you get the candle you get the candle wax all melted and ready to pour in, because there's nothing worse than you are all ready to go, but everything else is not set up. So it was easy to put the sticker on, well, pretty easy, I guess. Once the sticker was on, I pulled off the backing, stuck it in approximately the center of the jar. Then I brought out my handy dandy guide, which makes sure that my candle wick stays in the center of my container. And now we are all ready to just sort of sit back, relax, and wait for the candle wax to melt. Like I said, it does not take very long for the candle wax to melt. In no time you will have a wonderful candle that you are ready to do anything with. Let's push those off to the side so that hopefully our candle wax will melt really, really quickly. And with the flash of a button, candle wax is melted. So we can go ahead and pour that candle wax into our containers. Now the cool thing about this is I found that the wooden candle container, like the wooden wick, stayed in place as I was pouring the candle wax in. That was really nice because you just held it there for a few seconds and then it did. It stayed in there, no problems. Then I poured the rest into the one with just the regular wick, and it was ready to go. That was half a pound of soy wax, and making sure to use all of it so that there is nothing wasted. Then we're just ready to do the fun and exciting job of let's let this cool. Everything needs to be cleaned out. The melter is non-stick, so you can then let that cool down, wipe it out. But yeah, now's the easy part. Okay, I'll be completely honest. I had a problem cutting the wick. I had to get a pair of shears. Then I cut the other regular wick, and then it was time to check out how the candles look. I think the candles look great, but you know, the first time you light a wooden wick, I found that it's sort of hard to get it to light. But then once it's going, it looks really good. But you need to see these things in the dark so that you can see how cool they actually are. Like I said, I had an absolute blast making those candles. Am I going to be making more candles? Yeah, yeah. Will you probably see another candle making video? Probably, because we might do a scented candle making video. We might do other candle techniques. But for my first time making candles, the things I can say which shocked me was that was a lot of wax to make those candles. That was about a pound of wax to make to make those three candles. That surprised me. The other part which surprised me was absolutely how easy it is. Why haven't I done this before? I mean, I now have all the glassware that I need to make the candles because that was part of a whole nother thing where I got the candle glasses. So I have all that. I have the wicks. All I need to do is get the candle wax, which I will stick with the soy wax. I'm very happy with it. I enjoyed it. At this time, I'd like to thank these wonderful people who let me do these strange and interesting experiments. And this was one of those things which was highly unexpected, but I really, really liked it because I don't even know if they know that this is coming out yet. They will get this video early. They get a weekly vlog. Yeah, they had to have seen it because it was in the weekly vlog, where they get to see what's going on behind the scenes, what's going on in my life. If you want to help support this channel and so I can do bigger and better projects, that would be great. You can join the channel members or you can join the Patreon family. The other part about this is if you've gotten this far, you can like and share this video. That really helps YouTube algorithms know that this is a video that other people would see. But I'm serious. If you are thinking about getting into candle making, this is it. This was so easy, so quick, and it was so much fun. I had a blast doing this, and I can hardly wait to do more of it. So, yeah, I think you'll see that video coming up down the road. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope I get to see you again the next time you stop by.